Today I'm going to show you how you can make a couple different logo types for your business using Canva. Now there's a couple of different types of logos that I'm going to discuss. Obviously there are lots of different variations to these logo types, but the first one is symbol logos and the second one is letter logos. And very basically and simply it looks like this. This would be more of a symbol logo and this would be more of a letter logo where it's the letters, the first letters of your business name, right? And then there's all these different arrangements that you can do with your logo. You can have them stacked on top of each other, next to each other. These are just a few different examples. One important thing to note is that when you create your logo with Canva, that you're going to want to make sure you download it or export it without a background, because however you create your logo and your business name combination, you're going to be using it for different sources, right? So this one might be something that I use on my website. This one might be used as the watermark for my YouTube videos, okay? Which I actually do use for my YouTube videos. Now with this one, if I export this on a white canvas like this, using the free version of Canva, it will export with a white background, and there's not really anything I can do about that. However, if you do have the Pro version, and you can just get a free trial, so if you're just going to be creating a logo once, then you could just get the free trial of the Pro version, and then you could go ahead and download this without a background. And all you have to do is click share when you've created your logo and you're ready to download it. Share in the upper right hand corner, click download, and then you're going to select this box that says transparent background, and then you just select the page that has your logo on it. In this case it is page 1, which is our current page that we're on. Click done and then download. PNG is the option that you need to select if you want a transparent background. See, JPG does not have that option. So I've added just a few examples of different logos from different companies. Now, none of these logos are necessarily just a symbol logo or just a letter logo. I kind of just divided it into these two categories. But obviously, you know, if I just had BP written on something with this font and this coloring, then you would know exactly what company this is. So each of these companies' logos has a very specific font that they use, very specific colors, and they have their logo, okay? So these are some symbol logos. If you see the symbol all by itself, you can pretty easily identify the company. There's Pepsi, Adidas, right? Amazon has the little arrow they use a lot, Twitter, Apple. Letter logos with McDonald's, it's arches, but at the same time it forms an M for McDonald's, right? Google, the whole word is kind of decked up. Same thing with Subway. F for Facebook, P for Pinterest, and then this is just a generic idea of how you might make a little fancy letter logo for your company. Now with Canva, I thought it'd be fun to try to recreate one of these logos, and BP seemed to be the easiest one to recreate with Canva. Now it does have its limitations, okay? So I did this by going to the Elements tab here, and then I went to Lines and Shapes, See All, and I scrolled down until I found the shape that was closest to the BP shape. Now it's not exactly the same because the BP logo has more of a floral shape. These look kind of more like petals or leaves. It's a little bit curved. With this one, it's just straight edges, okay? So it's not exactly the same, but I did want to show you how you can get these colors really easily to match. So in Canva, if I create a shape, right, I've created this shape twice, and then I just rotated this one to fit in the center. So I click on a shape and I come up here to the color option, and there's two ways that I can make these colors match the BP logo. The first way is right here, photo colors, is what Canva does. They automatically pick out colors from a photo that is on the sheet you're currently working on, okay? So I just was able to go over here and I found the color that I was looking for really easily, and I clicked on it. And then for the second one, I was able to find the second color really easily, and I clicked on it. Now, sometimes Canva does have a hard time picking out the colors in a photo if there's a lot of different colors. So if you have a very specific color from an image that you're wanting to pick out, you just come up here to add a new color, and you click on the eyedropper tool. And then you can just hover over the design, over the photo, until you find the color that you're looking for, which is super simple, super easy. So a few questions to consider when you are creating your logo is, what is your brand feel or vibe? What are your brand colors? What font will you use? Are there any stories behind your brand? And we already mentioned that you need to download your font without a background in order to be able to use it in different platforms in different situations. So I just created this fake brand called Choco Leaf, and we're going to answer each of these questions, and then we're going to try to use Canva to design a fun little logo for our Choco Leaf brand. So the feel, warm, holiday, classy, colors, warm browns and gold. I tried a couple different fonts here to play around with. And then we're pretending like this brand was inspired by our favorite maple candies, which are shaped like leaves. The way that I picked out the colors is I created first 4 circles. We're still in the elements, lines, and shapes section, okay? So I create a circle, bring it down to the size that I want it. Now, I'm just going to copy this by holding down Control or Command and C, and then hit Control or Command V 3 times. So now I have 4 circles, okay? Now, Canva is really nice about helping you with guides to help you line things up really nicely, so you can see the little pink dotted lines that are showing up. Another cool thing is when I bring a 3rd circle in here, see, it tells me how far apart each of the circles are, so I can get them to be equally spaced. Now, if I don't want to take the time to do it quite like that, all I have to do is highlight these all, click position. Remember, I just clicked and dragged across all of these to select them all. Position, tidy up. And then it automatically makes them all equidistant from each other and all on the same line. So see how it looks really nice and tidy. If I want them to be a little bit closer together, I can just kind of squish them in and then do the same thing. Position, tidy up, okay? Now I want to make my colors match my chosen color scheme, which is warm browns and gold. So I just found an image by going over here to photos, and then I typed in the word gold. And I scrolled down until I found an image that had some of the colors I was looking for. So I chose this one. And then again, I went up to the color option right here after clicking on one of my circles, and I went down to photo colors, and it already had this nice little palette created for me by picking out some of the colors from this photo of gold, right? And all I had to do was click on each circle and choose the color that I wanted. And that was pretty easy, okay? And then I just selected them all again and hit the group button, okay? So now I have my little color palette that I can move around. And then I can copy this. Each time that I hit a new page, I'm gonna go ahead and paste it into the new page so that I have that color palette on hand. Because when I go up to the color option, say I have this shape here and I want to change the color, then it's going to show under photo colors or document colors. See, it's showing up under document colors right here. So there's the dark brown, the lighter brown, and my golds, okay? Now the other way that you can create a brand kit using Canva is by coming up here to the color, and then right here it says Untitled Brand Kit, so I can say edit, and on the free version it'll let me create a color palette of 3 colors, so I wouldn't be able to put all 4 of my colors in here, but that brand kit sticks around, so anytime that I'm trying to change the color of something, then I can just come straight to my brand kit and click on the color that matches my brand. And you can do the same thing with fonts as well. The brand kit has these brand fonts. But again, you're very limited on the free version. So the free way of doing this is just creating your little color palette and then copying and pasting it over to new canvases. Now, I wanted to find some maple leaves just for inspiration for my logo. So we're going to go to Elements again and just type in maple leaf. And there's a whole bunch of different options. If it has a little crown next to it, then you can only use it on the Pro version. You can still experiment with it, but it's going to have the Canva watermark over it. But if you're thinking of getting Pro but you're not wanting to try it right now, then you can just experiment with these shapes, and if you pick one that you like, then you could start your Canva Pro free trial, and then the watermark will be removed. Okay, so I went through and I found some leaves that I really liked. These are all on the free plan, so that's pretty convenient. And I would not just take a leaf or an element or a design straight from Canva and then slap your company name on it and call it good. For one, it's not going to be super unique, and for two, you risk having the same logo as somebody else if they're doing the exact same thing, right? But we can change this up a little bit, make it a little bit more unique. So I have my leaf here and I want to find a way to make it unique. So maybe I will go ahead and change the color here. And with this one, it's an image, it's not a shape. So see up here, there's not an option to change the color, but there is an option to edit the image. And the way that I can change this color to fit my brand is I click edit image, and I'm going to click or search duotone. If you don't see duotone here in one of your options, just type in the word duotone, D-U-O-T-O-N-E, right here, duotone, okay? Click on it. It doesn't really matter which one of these you choose. Let me just click on the first one here, okay? It applies the duotone effect, and then I'm going to click on the 3 lines here. Then I'm going to change the highlights and the shadows to the color I want this leaf to be. So, brown, brown. Okay, so now my leaf is brown. And actually, I'm going to make this leaf one of the gold colors. Let's do this gold here. Okay. And then I'm going to duplicate this. And again, click edit image, add the duotone effect, and let's make this one the dark brown color. Click apply, and then I'm going to add a shadow, a glow shadow, and then let's adjust the effects of that. So the transparency, I'm going to pop it all the way up. Size, I'm going to bump it up a little bit. Basically, I'm just thickening the edges of this shape, okay? Blur, I don't want it to be blurred, I want it to be a hard edge. And then the color of it is going to match that brown. So see, now it's thicker. And I could make it even thicker if I wanted to increase the size a little bit. And click apply. And then this I want to have on top. So I'll say position, forward. Ta-da! And see, now I have something that's unique, right? And I can group this together, change the size, and then I can start playing around with my fonts that I chose and decide how I want this logo to look. Okay, so my fonts, I have this one right here, which is Alex Brush, and this one right here, which is Aleo Light. So let's go ahead and type those in here. So text, add a heading, it's really big. And then let me change the color of these. We can play around with colors, shapes, sizes, really all that we want, right? But right now we're just showing you how to use some of the tools that Canva has available, right? So I can duplicate this and play around with some of the placement, some of my fonts. I can decide, you know, what I like, what I don't. Maybe I'll change the colors that I used for the leaf itself. Okay, and that's what you'll be doing with your logo again. But again, just try to create something that's unique instead of just taking one of Canva's assets and slapping your name on it, right? Now, another way of doing this, if I come down here, is by taking a bunch of shapes that are available on Canva and combining them. Now, I hope that your logo looks better than this, but this was me just playing around with some of the shapes that Canva has. So if I go back to elements, I am just going to type leaf this time. I have my maple leaf here for inspiration. And I really like kind of the drawn look. So maybe something like this could be nice. And then I can, you know, add some other shapes. There's this graphics section that's kind of fun. So maybe I'll have this circle because the circle represents chocolate, and then I'll change the colors of the circle so it matches my brand, right? There we go. So this is not at all attractive, but just showing you that there's a lot of different shapes and stuff that you could start combining together, right, to create some sort of logo. Okay, so say that I make this my logo, I can group it together, and again, do the same thing, experiment with some of your fonts and placements. Now on this page, I was just experimenting with different letter symbols or letter logos. So here's like a C and an L, and again, I just found shapes that were on Canva and put them together, and then I adjusted them to fit my color scheme. Here's a few more shapes over here. These were letters that I found that were for the Pro version of Canva, but I don't really like using these anyways. They don't look very nice. So this is just another option. With your logo, you're probably just going to want to play around with a lot of different stuff until you find something that you like. If what you find is a Pro feature, then again, all you have to do is just start your free trial of Pro, and you only need it once to download your logo without the watermark. So pretty easy, and hope that helps you decide what you want your logo to look like and understand some of the cool features that Canva has for making a simple logo.